What's up, guys? So today I'm excited to share with you guys the stats and abilities for the Fantastic Four and Namor. So this video will not include the Invisible Woman, aka Sue Storm, because her kit is still not finalized as of yet. So we'll get into all the specifics, but I want to answer the big questions everyone has been asking about this team, which are, how good are the Fantastic Four, and where do the Fantastic Four excel? So the short answer to this is, they're intended to be a very strong all-around team that have strong synergy with one another. They're not expected to be able to directly compete with X-Men or Brotherhood in Arena, for example, but they are expected to have utility in most areas of the game, much like the Fury Shield team. However, when paired with Namor, they do become one of the top, if not the top, Alliance War offense team. Now this next comment is totally unconfirmed, not based on any rumors or data mines, and is purely my own speculation. But the fact that the core four of this team are designed to be very well-rounded opens up the possibility for this to be a top-tier adaptable team. What I mean by that is, imagine a version where, say instead of Namor, you use Silver Surfer as the fifth, making them a top raid team, while a version with, say, Doctor Doom as the fifth makes them a top arena team. Again though, that's entirely my own speculation and not based on any official information. So enough conjecture, let's look at their kits and stats. Now, two quick disclaimers. Disclaimer number one, all the footage you'll see in this video of the Fantastic Four is footage that does not include the legendary member of the team, Sue Storm. She's the protector on the team and considered a core component for the squad to reach their full potential, so as good as they look in this footage, try to remember that you're seeing them without their legendary. If we look at recent teams like the Wakandans and the X-Men, it's clear that the inclusion of a legendary member greatly improves the effectiveness of any team. Disclaimer number two, all the footage you'll see in this video of the Fantastic Four is footage of the characters at 6 gold stars, 1 red star, gear tier 10, and 6664 abilities. I also want to attach this note to disclaimer number 2. All the stats you're about to see are not including all of the stat benefits they provide one another when teamed up, though it does include the stat benefits they provide themselves. What I mean by this is that, for example, the Human Torch gives the entire team extra damage. You won't see this extra damage reflected in other team members' damage stat numbers, but you will see it reflected in the Human Torch's damage stat number. Also, for those of you wondering, at only level 4 passives, which is what you'll see in the footage, the Human Torch's passive gives the entire team 20% more damage, Mr. Fantastic's passive gives the entire team 10% more focus and 20% more resistance, the Thing's passive gives the entire team 10% more armor, Namor's passive also gives the entire team an additional 20% damage on war offense specifically. Remember also that when the Invisible Woman joins the team, she will also grant them 20% additional max health with her level 5 passive. So the kits that we're about to discuss are for their maxed abilities at 7775, even though you're seeing gameplay footage of their stats and abilities at only 6664. Alright, enough with the disclaimers, let's check out their stats and kits. So we'll start with Namor. Namor's max health is 90,338, which is really high, especially for a brawler. He also gains max health when paired with the Invisible Woman. His base damage is 4,617, which is definitely on the low end, but jumps up when paired with the Human Torch, and jumps up again when he's being used on war offense. His base armor is 2,726, which is barely below average, but it jumps up when paired with the Thing. His focus is just below average at 1148, and his resistance is a bit above average at 1412, and both those values jump up when paired with Mr. Fantastic. Namor's speed is 113, which is above average, making him the same speed as characters like Falcon, Vision, and Mordo. Next up is Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. The Thing's max health is 91,961, which again is really high, especially for a brawler. He'll even gain more health when paired with the Invisible Woman. His damage is 6,378, which is right around average, but he gains damage when paired with the Human Torch and gains more damage when used with Namor for war offense. His base armor is 4,318, which is also really high. His focus is below average at 1148, and his resistance is a good bit above average, and he gains more of both when paired with Mr. Fantastic. His speed is only 86, which is fairly slow, making him the same speed as Kree Noble and 1 speed slower than Hulk. Next, we'll take a look at Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch. Johnny's max health is 48,685, which is very low, though that will improve a bit when paired with Sue Storm. His base damage is 6,378, which is right around average, but this is actually above average for a character that applies bleeds, and can be further boosted when paired with Namor for war offense. His base armor is 2,110, which is a bit below average. It's pretty evident that Johnny is a bit of a glass cannon. His focus is only 1148, which is actually slightly below average, while his resistance is 1412, which is a little bit above average. Both of those values are improved, however, when paired with Mr. Fantastic. And lastly, Johnny's speed is 127, which is incredibly fast, making him the same speed as Captain Marvel and one of the fastest characters in the game. Finally, we're taking a look at Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic. So Reed Richards' max health is 81,142, which is fairly high, especially for a controller. He'll also gain additional max health when paired with Sue. His base damage is 4,796, which is really low, but improves when paired with Johnny, and further improves when paired with Namor for war offense. His armor is 1623, which is well below average, but improves when paired with Ben Grimm. And his focus is 1950, which is really high, and his resistance is 1412, which is a bit above average. Reed's speed is 102, which is just barely above average, making him the same speed as Rocket, Quake, and Miss Marvel. But alright, so we've done a breakdown of their stats, on to the juicy stuff, the kits. We'll start with the Blazing Blaster, the Human Torch. Johnny's basic is Hot Shot. Attack primary target for 210% damage and apply bleed for 2 turns. His basic is pretty standard basic. Low initial damage enhanced by a 2-turn bleed. Johnny's special is Heating Up. Gain +2 offense up to a maximum of 5. Apply +1 offense up to a maximum of 3 to all Fantastic Four or Namor allies. Attack primary target for 350% damage. This ability costs 4 energy and starts full. So this ability is nice. It does a healthy chunk of damage to the primary target, enhanced by an offense up, but more importantly, it gives the entire Fantastic Four team offense up. And this is able to be done on turn 1, and Johnny is really fast. It's also a fairly low cooldown. Johnny's ultimate is Supernova. Attack all enemies for 400% damage, apply offense down to all enemies. This attack is unavoidable and cannot be countered. So this ability costs 8 energy and starts with 6. This ability is also really nice. An AoE offense down applied to all enemies that's unavoidable is really useful. It's also a ton of damage for an AoE and should regularly work out where Johnny still has offense up when you use it. It's got a long cooldown, but rightfully so, as this ability is devastating. Johnny's passive is Flame On. On turn, flip 2 negative effects on self to positive effects, gain 30% damage. Fantastic Four and Namor allies gain 30% damage, gain 10,000% resistance against bleed. So this passive is really nice. It helps protect Johnny from bleeds, mainly so that when Pyro blasts him with fire, he's largely unaffected, which is a nice touch. He also gives out a healthy damage boost to his team, and gains a lot of tools to both protect himself and improve his utility with the buff flip, like flipping a blind into stealth or an ability block into counterattack. Next up, we'll take a look at the bouldered brawler, the Thing. Ben's basic is Knuckle Sandwich. Attack primary target for 350% damage. This basic is, well, as basic as they come. See target, bash target. Should be solid damage considering his high base damage and the fact that Human Torch can give him offense up. Ben's special is Pummeling Stone. Attack primary target for 280% damage, bonus attack 2 times for 220% damage. This ability costs 3 energy and starts full. So this ability is going to hurt. A lot. I also like that it's broken up into 3 attacks so it can get through things like evade and death proof, and it also has a really low cooldown. Ben's ultimate is Haymaker. Attack primary target for 550% damage. This ability costs 5 energy and starts full. So it should be pretty clear at this point, Ben Grimm is not a complicated man. He sees an enemy, he smashes an enemy. Maybe he mixes it up and smashes them an extra time or 2. So this ability is pretty basic, but considering it's available on turn 1 and should be enhanced by an offense up from Human Torch, it will certainly leave a mark. Ben's passive is It's Clobberin' Time. When attacked, attack that enemy for 150% damage, gain 20% armor. Fantastic Four and Namor allies gain 20% armor. So this passive continues the motif introduced by Colossus, where punching really hard materials, like rock, hurts the attacker, and I love it. The extra armor is a nice touch, though overall the impact of armor in any given fight is minimal unless a character has exceptionally high armor. Since we don't have Sue's kit just yet, the final Fantastic Four member we're breaking down today is the Calculating Controller, Mr. Fantastic. Reed's basic is Tensile Strength. Attack primary target for 230% damage, chain to 3 adjacent targets for 190% damage, counterattack breaks this chain. While this basic won't do that much damage, it does guarantee a 3-target chain, potentially while hitting 4 targets with each basic attack, which is really nice utility. Reed's special is Entangle. Attack primary target for 400% damage and apply stun. So this ability costs 6 energy and starts with 5. This ability is pretty straightforward and also pretty solid. The damage multiplier is nice, but the targeted stun is super useful. The cooldown is a bit lengthy though. Reed's ultimate is Orbital Assault. Clear defense up from the primary target, attack primary target for 450% damage, gain 100,000% extra focus for this attack. This ability costs 3 energy and starts full. So this ability is awesome, because it's exactly what was needed to shake up the arena meta a bit. Now I don't say that because I think that the Fantastic Four are the new arena meta, but I do say that because this ability in particular hard counters Colossus by guaranteeing that his defense up is removed, which strips him of all of his extra resistance. I also like that this ability has a really low cooldown and is ready on turn 1. Lastly, Reed's passive is For Science. Gain 20% resistance, Fantastic Four and Namor allies gain 20% resistance, gain 20% focus, Fantastic Four and Namor allies gain 20% focus. On self and each Fantastic Four ally's turn, 100% chance to apply Assist Now to self, Namor, or a random Fantastic Four ally. If Assist Now is applied, clear blind on that target. On turn, choose 3 random enemies. If they have a positive effect, remove 1. So this passive ability is really nice, but very random. Focus and resistant buffs to the Fantastic Four are nice, and the constant assisting adds a ton of extra damage to every move the Fantastic Four make, and that helps explain why their base damage isn't over the top. However, the fact that the assisting ally is chosen at random means this will only work as a moderate counter to characters like Mordo and Magneto, depending on how the turn order works out and which assisting ally is chosen. This is also true of the buff removal from his passive, in that it has the potential to be incredibly impactful, but due to the randomness of the target selection, it's unfortunately somewhat unreliable. And finally, we get to talk about my favorite kit from this new batch of characters, the Barrier Reef Brawl Star himself, Namor. So Namor's basic is Neptune's Trident. Attack primary target for 210% damage and 50% piercing. So mixed damage is always the most effective, so this basic will do some decent damage, particularly on War Offense, where Namor's damage is further increased. Namor's special is Tidal Wave. Attack primary target for 350% damage, attack adjacent targets for 340% damage. On target block, bonus attack 2 times for 100% piercing to primary and adjacent targets. This ability costs 3 energy and starts full. I like this ability because it's good against certain tanks and great for Alliance War. It does a decent amount of damage up front, but it further punishes tanks that rely on block like Captain America and M'Baku. However, the real value is in Alliance War, where it will essentially clear all 3 deflect stacks from 3 enemies in a single ability. Deflect, for those that don't know, is a guaranteed block on the next incoming attack, which is why it will always trigger the bonus attacks on this ability. Namor's ultimate is Giganto. Attack all enemies for 300% damage. Pretty awesome, right? Oh, I left out this part. On War Offense, this attack always crits. Clear all positive effects from each target, change speed bar of all targets by 50%. This attack is unavoidable and cannot be countered. This ability costs 7 energy and starts full. So this ability is nothing short of godlike. Not only is the animation for it absolutely awesome, but this is an absolute game changer when it comes to Alliance War. While it's not backed by the unmatched focus of the Dark Phoenix ult, it makes up for it by rewinding the speed bar of all enemies by 50%, which is huge. I absolutely love this ability. And lastly, Namor's passive is Imperious Rex. Gain 20% damage, gain 30% armor. On War Offense, on spawn, apply offense up for 2 turns to all Fantastic Four allies and self. On spawn, apply deflect for 2 turns to all Fantastic Four allies or self. Gain additional 30% damage. Fantastic Four allies gain 30% damage. So the passive stats this passive applies in all game modes are certainly nice. However, the additional benefits for Alliance War are absolutely incredible. Not only does it provide offense up on spawn for 2 turns to the entire Fantastic Four team, but Johnny's special is worded to specify that he will actually add an additional 3rd turn of offense up for everyone. In addition, Namor will apply 2 turns of deflect to everyone on spawn, which greatly helps them against fast teams like Fury Shield and the Wakandans. And finally, Namor provides an extra heaping portion of damage for War offense to solidify this team as a total powerhouse in Alliance War. So there you have it. I'm super excited to see what tools Sue Storm brings to this team, but from what we've seen so far, they definitely seem to be a very well-rounded team for all game modes, though they seem like they'll be outright unstoppable on War offense. So now that you've seen all the kits, who are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I just want to make a quick announcement and let you guys know the 3.4.0 tier list stream is scheduled for this Friday, August 9th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. During the week that follows, I should be able to put out a new top 5 teams tier list infographic, a new solo character tier list infographic, and a new unique sure to win Blitz teams infographic, so keep an eye out for those. Also, for those that don't know, I stream Marvel Strike Force every single day at 1 p.m. Pacific time over at twitch.tv/Khasino. Additionally, anyone is welcome to join my Discord server, which is discord.gg/Khasino. We have Blitz predictions, infographics, guide videos, Q&A, and more, so I suggest checking it out. Lastly, if you enjoyed this video, help me out and poke that like button, maybe even flick the subscribe button. That said, that's all I've got for you right now, but I have several other videos in the works, so I will see you guys real soon. Until then, peace!